the term the Great Resignation, and you are going to find hundreds of news articles talking about the millions of Americans who are suddenly quitting their jobs. In fact, in July alone, 4 million people walked away from their jobs and millions more every month after. So why are people doing this? And if you are thinking about hitting the refresh button, what should you know? CEO and president of Elkordy Global Strategies, Mary Elizabeth Elkordy, joins us now to get her take on the Great Resignation. First of all, Mary Elizabeth, glad you're here.
Thank you so much for having me on. I'm excited to be here.
All right, let's just jump right in. Why are people resigning? Why are people leaving their jobs? What's going on?
I think it's a mixture of things. I think over the past 18 months, many people have been reevaluating what they're doing for work. And with so many types of work being seen as non-essential and knowing that your job is no longer guaranteed like it used to be back in the day where if you work a job for 10 years, you're safe. I think a lot of people are really thinking about what do I want to do with my life? And then also right now, some employers are forcing people to come back to work and some people just don't feel comfortable to go back. They like the flexibility. They like being able to be home and be with their families. So there are a lot of factors that are really motivating people to determine, whether they want to stay or they want to leave their jobs.
And we're hearing from some of these people, they don't necessarily have another job immediately lined up. So my question for you, Mary Elizabeth, how are people affording to resign from their jobs without something to go to come Monday morning of the following week? Where's this money coming from to sort of float them through rent, car payments, groceries, and everything else?
So I think it's a mixture of things as well on this point. I think for some people, if they're fortunate enough to have savings, then they're probably eating into their savings. I've known some people who are doing that. But on the other side of it, a lot of people are picking up side hustle jobs throughout the way, right? Like sites like Upwork and Fiverr.com are giving people a lot of ability to find new work a lot faster than they would normally do when they're trying to find a full-time new job. I think people are looking for more flexibility in their life, and because now they can live anywhere they want to do work for a lot of different companies, it gives them more choices in terms of finding work.
That really does bring up a good point. Just because they're resigning their job doesn't mean that they are no longer working. They may just be working a couple of side jobs and making the same amount of money. All right, before people decide to jump in and take part in the Great Resignation and quit their jobs, what should they consider? What should they do to prepare?
I think if you already know that you're not happy in the job that you're in or that there's something you've always wanted to do, I think, first of all, financially preparing for that decision, right? So if you aren't saving money right now and you're able to, start saving money. I think one of the other things that I would suggest that people do is take a calculated risk. And what I mean by that is looking at what skills do you currently have and what skills do you want to obtain. And since this is remote distance learning week, to first of all, work on gaining those skills, but also test out, like, is this something I can really make money in? And that's why freelancing is such a great opportunity, because it not only gives you the ability to see, like, first, can you be your own boss and find work, but is it enough work that you can really leave your day job and be financially secure? I don't believe in just like quitting your job for the sake of quitting your job and have nothing to fall back on. People have other responsibilities in their life, but making sure that you are careful, but still make that leap is always important.
Yeah.
Just take those steps.
It's risky to quit a job without another one lined up immediately or some way to make some money. Finally here, Mary Elizabeth, I do want to ask you, for employers who may be listening to this interview, what can they do to try to keep their employees, especially the good ones that they would really hate to see walk out the door?
I think there are a few things with this. I think it's, first of all, be empathetic with your workforce, right? We're in a time where it's no longer, it's just personal, it's business. You're right now in my bedroom. In other places, people's home, you're in their living room and dining room. So understanding that people's lives are now more intertwined into the workforce. So providing them other opportunities, whether that's education, whether that's internal mobility, if they have a great idea, but they're, giving them the environment to share their ideas and maybe fleshing them out into maybe a new revenue stream. If you know that they're working very hard, especially in today's world where people's personal lives and work lives are really meshing together more, understanding that you don't want your team to burn out, and communicating that and making it clear that you're there for them to make sure that, of course, the work needs to get done, but in a way that is not impacting your personal life. And then, of course, continuing the flexibility of this hybrid workforce and allowing people to be, where their families are, not needing to move to expensive cities in order for them to have a good, financially sound job.
Oh, you bring up a lot of good points. Mary Elizabeth Elkordy from Elkordy Global Strategies. We appreciate your expertise on the topic. Thank you.
Thank you.